Hey guys, welcome to my next episode of The Struggle. So, step one, get the resume, know what kind of job you're looking for. What's step two? Step two is where do I look? Where do you look for a job? Now, back in my day, you just shook a man's hand and you got a job. But that's not the case anymore. You can't just walk in places, especially corporate places. Mom and pop shops, sure. That can still work if they're hiring. And chances are they aren't. Believe me, I have actually done it. I've actually walked in, asked if someone was hiring um, several times, not just one place. Trust me. It could work if you go to 100 different places, but that involves a lot of walking. And what did I say last episode about walking and standing for long periods of time? I can't do it. So uh, I must turn to online resources and applying online. So let me show you a couple different websites that I've been looking at. Okay, so LinkedIn is one of the sites that I use. And here we have, I've got a search for administrative assistant, which is one of the things. Also, I keep an eye out for industry jobs because I do have on my resume associate producer. So I do look for those occasionally. Um, that's not an industry job. Great. Uh, yeah, so I look for these sorts of things. And when I find something that I can do, something that looks great, uh, yeah, receptionist, I can do that. Easy apply, that's a great one. Those are good ones because some LinkedIns don't have easy apply. They make you go to their website, and uh, they're not as good. I don't like it. But easy apply is great because you just click on it and you attach your resume, uh, answer additional questions. Yes, I do have a bachelor's degree. Yes, I am legally authorized to work in the United States. And submit. That wasn't so bad. Now, some of these, I don't know how they got in there. Like, why would I be a Circle K customer service rep in Big Bear? That is nowhere near me. I don't know why that's even there. But yeah, so let's go back. Let's go to these ones. Should be in Los Angeles. Hopefully. Oh, it's Los Angeles County. Maybe that's why. Anyway, some of these I don't do, even though it says data entry clerk. That is something that I uh, can do, and that's something I'd like to do. Remote stuff is great, but some of these, like this particular one here, I have seen a million times and never got an interview for it. Kind of suspicious, but I'm not going to get into that. I'll do an episode later about ghost jobs and scams. That's a whole episode in and of itself. Executive assistant, I don't go for anymore because I've just had no luck with it, and I don't have anything in my resume that says executive assistant. So, again, that sort of stuff, you can kind of tell if something is a scam or a ghost job or just trying to post things that don't have anything to do with anything. Assistant to literary manager. That's a little specific, so it's probably too specific for me. Um, any sort of alumni stuff, mail services clerk, that could work. I don't know if, yeah, see, that's a apply outside. That's one of those things. And see, it takes you to an outside website. I do that sometimes. I'm not going to demonstrate that right now, but that's how that kind of works. You just click on it and it goes the other end. So that is LinkedIn. And Indeed is another website I use. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Property manager, probably not. As much as I'd love to do that job, I, again, have no on paper experience doing it. Even though I could do the job 9 times, 10 ways to Sunday, I don't have any on paper experience, and I don't like lying on my resume. And I don't want to lie on my resume, so I don't. This one looks good. Tech, admin assistant, I can do that stuff. That's a good pay rate. I like that. Full time, temporary, I'm cool with that. I have work experience, data entry, great. You know, I'm cool with a background check because I've been background checked for kids. Like, I've had, because I volunteer at my church so I've had full on background checks. I have nothing to hide. All right, so let's try applying for this. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. Very good. Not doxing myself. And submit. That's one of the great things about Indeed is they always have they have your info and it just submits it. So, how far am I willing to commute? I am willing to commute up to 60 minutes. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, and they have you ask all these questions and then, they pre-fill that in if the employer wants to know. That's a cool thing about Indeed. So that's a couple of the websites that I use. I'm also on Glassdoor, but it turns out Glassdoor doesn't post jobs as often. It's more of a Yelp for job seekers or job, holders. Yeah, it's more for people that already have jobs. So I haven't been on Glassdoor too much. But I'm also on Backstage, which has industry jobs as well. I'm not going to get into that. I'm also not going to show you my entire email site, but because I'm on Indeed and LinkedIn, and I have indicated that I am looking for a job, I will get emails frequently from Indeed, from LinkedIn, saying, "Okay, here's this job." Uh, are you interested? Or this is a bad match? Or, you know, do you want to be an acquisition specialist for real estate wholesaling? Again, I can't, it's not on paper. And I'm very unlikely to get an interview. So I'm not going to bother wasting the time and applying if I'm not going to get an interview. So I always try to get stuff that is within the range of what I've done, and I have not been acquiring real estate, so like wholesale real estate. So that has I don't think they're going to want to hire me. I could do it. I'm sure I could figure it out, but again, I don't have the direct experience. That's what I'm looking for, something I have direct experience in. So, yeah, so I scour my emails, sometimes those are what get me started. I don't only apply to the things I see in the emails, but that gets me started, and then I go from there. And then I'll go on LinkedIn and scroll for a bit and see, okay, let's try this, let's try that. So that's my process of applying. And then once I apply, I get more emails that will say, okay, you've applied. Sometimes, especially on Backstage, they'll say they viewed your submission or they viewed your resume, which is great. Now, the next phase would be interviews, but I haven't gotten any official interviews yet. I did have one. And I'll talk about that later. But I haven't heard back from them yet. But it's a associate producer job with a production company. So hopefully that pans out, but also it's deferred pay. It's not like you start today and you get paid next week. That's kind of the job that I'm looking for, really, is a steady, you do this work, we give you money. You know, that's the sort of thing I'd like. So for now, the search continues. And we'll see you next time for another episode of The Struggle.